Hey everybody, and welcome to a new video, and happy rollover week. In this video, we're going to be talking about futures and specifically rolling contracts. Now, every futures contract has a specific date that it ends. We call this expiration. And if you're holding a contract through the expiration, there's also a process of how that contract gets settled. Now, every futures contract has its specific expiration date. It has its specific process of how it gets settled. But if you're watching this video, then there's no reason for you to be holding your contracts through expiration. And if you're not going to be holding your contract and letting it expire, then you're going to be going through a process of either holding and rolling over to the next month contract, or you're going to stop trading the current contract and start trading the next month's contract. So in this video, I'm going to be saying rollover, but when I mean that, when I say that, I just mean stop trading the current month, rolling over and starting to trade the next month's contract. Okay, so in this video, I just want to break down the process that I go through for when I'm rolling over my contracts. I used to do this based on time, but I do it differently now, and I just want to walk you through it in this quick video. Let's jump right into it. Okay, when it comes to understanding the product that you're trading and the contract specifications that it has, when it expires, how it gets settled, this information you can easily find in the CME website. You can reference the CME, just the cmegroup.com. Once you're inside here, you can either search for your product or just find the product that you're looking to dive into the contract specs on, and it'll give you a full breakdown of its contract specifications. So once you're in here, you can look over everything you need to know about this contract. In this case, we have the listed contracts. So this will be March, June, September, and December. This means that there's a March, a June, a September, and a December contract. We also can see the termination of trading. This is just going to be how this contract expires. So the trading terminates at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the third Friday of the contract month. So what this tells us is that if you're trading the March contract, which at the time of this recording, this is still trading, the March contract is going to expire the third Friday of March at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that's going to be this Friday at the time of this recording at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The same thing happens if you were on the June contract. The June contract will expire the third Friday in June at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, you can also see that how this settlement process works, how it gets settled, and you can check into that. You can always reference that right from the CME. Okay, now when it comes to rolling over, the most popular thing to do is to do this by time. There's a very good chance that your charting package is going to notify you maybe the week before expiration and tell you that you need to roll over your contract. So you probably were trading along this month. First week went by, after the end of the second week, somewhere in there, it gave you the notification that you need to roll over, or potentially you just do that based on time anyway. That's the most popular way to do it, and that's the way that I used to do it. Typically, Sierra Charts would give me the notification that I need to roll over, and I would just roll over when they tell me to. Now, the issue that I have with rolling over strictly based on time is that it is somewhat random, and there's not a good decision being made here, because the market doesn't necessarily care that it's 1 week specifically before something. There's better information that we can make a decision on. So now, instead of doing it based on time, I do it based on volume. Now, what I ran into as far as having an issue with this is the month of expiration would happen. I would get the notification that I need to roll over probably the week before. And a lot of times what would happen is I would be trading the contract that was current, and it might have 1 million contracts being traded. And then when I rolled over and started trading the next month's contract, I would find myself in a position where maybe it was only trading 200,000 or 300,000 contracts for the next several sessions. The volume would continue to increase, and then eventually it would catch up with where I was currently at. But I would really be suffering for like a couple sessions as things were still getting figured out and as the volume balance was happening. So what I do now is I do it just based on volume, and we'll jump into the charts. I'll quickly just show you this process. So we're here in Sierra Charts, and if you have any kind of a charting package that allows you to open a quote board like this, you're just going to want to pop that open. So if you're in Sierra, you can just go to File, go down to New Quote Board. This will open up a grid that looks just like this. And what you can do from here is double click and add any symbol that you'd like. You can also go there and find the symbol, but you can just copy and paste a symbol in here or search any one that you'd like. And what I have listed is the March contract, which is the current month, June, which is getting ready to be the current month because this one expires this week. And then I also have September here. Okay, so you can see this is the March, the June, and the September contract. So it gives us a lot of information about the month that we're on or that's coming up. But if you see this tab here that says volume, and this is whatever you're trading on, you'd want to find this, where it gives you the volume breakdown. And what you can see is there's about half a million that's trading on the March contract. There's about 1 million trading on June, and then there's 544 trading in September. So what will happen, and the way that I do this process is as we come into the expiration month, after we get in with about a couple of weeks. So the first week happened. Once we get into the second week and then 1 week in front of expiration, especially, I'm going to be popping open this quote board, and I just want to notice the month that we're on and the month that's coming up, those contracts. I want to notice where the volume is at. And as long as we're having more volume trading on the current contract, I'm going to stick with it. And as soon as we start having more volume trading on the next month, that's when I'm going to roll over and start trading it. It doesn't matter if it's 2 weeks before, it doesn't matter if it's 2 days before. I'm going to stick with it and do it just like this. Now, I put September up here as well so that you could see this just as a dramatic variation here. But this is what it will end up happening. The longer that this goes on, once we are expired in March, we're strictly on the June contract, there's going to be this huge discrepancy between how much gets traded in September, how much gets traded on the June contract. Then as that expiration gets closer and closer and closer, there's going to be more and more trading in September. Eventually, there's going to be less and less trading in June. And then as it gets close to that expiration, these are going to get much closer, and then eventually there will be more traded in September than is traded in June. And at that point, I will roll over and I'm going to start trading the September contract in front of the June contract expiring. Okay, so this was a really simple breakdown. There's nothing to overthink about this process, especially trading the volume profile. Trading the contract that has the most volume is going to be really important. And again, it's not a huge deal, but usually if I roll strictly based on time, there's a couple days of just very wonky action where it has very light volume compared to the contract I just left. So I don't have that issue anymore. I always wait until there's enough volume, and then I flip over and trade the next month's contract, which is what I've done. I've been off of March for a little while now. I'm trading June. So I just wanted to record this quick video and kind of walk you through that process. I hope that helps, and it's definitely something that's worth checking into. But that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's go ahead, all hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be careful out there, watch your risk, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.